What happens when the gospel collides with the Roman Empire? In Acts chapter 18, we get one of the clearest intersections between New Testament events and Roman history. A rare moment where narrative and historical records sync with stunning clarity. We know that Paul arrives in Corinth and builds a lasting church community there. But when exactly did this happen, and why is it important? Two key lessons that Luke records helps us lock down the timeline, anchoring Paul's adventures to the greater politics of the Roman Empire. First, the Emperor Claudius apparently decreed the expulsion of Jewish citizens from Rome, forcing them to relocate elsewhere in the empire. When Paul meets Aquila and Priscilla in Corinth, according to Acts chapter 18, Luke casually notes that they'd been forced out by this imperial decree. That comment is intentional, making it a dateable moment. Additionally, the Roman historian Suetonius later wrote that Claudius expelled Jews because of unrest at the instigation of Christus, likely a garbled reference to Christ, which suggests that there were Christian tensions already brewing in Rome by the 40s AD, the decade of the reign of Claudius. These disturbances pushed Aquila and Priscilla out of the capital and straight into Paul's path, marking the beginning of a lifelong friendship between them. The second critical historical event is Paul's short trial before Gallio, the Roman proconsul of Achaia. This moment seems like a passing courtroom drama. Corinthian Jews wanted to punish Paul for his Christian message, but Gallio wanted nothing to do with the theological disputes. As it turns out, a French archaeologist was excavating the ruined temple of Apollo in Delphi, Greece in the year 1905. What he found came to be called the Delphi inscription, or Gallio inscription, a collection of fragments from a letter written by Emperor Claudius addressed to one Lucius Junius Gallio as Achaea's proconsul for the year 52 AD. Before the discovery of this correspondence, the historicity of Gallio in Corinth was not independently verifiable from the New Testament. Since proconsuls served one-year terms, Gallio's tenure likely spanned from 51 to 52 AD. Acts chapter 18 notes that Paul had been in Corinth for 18 months before his episode with Gallio, suggesting Paul arrived in Corinth around late 49 or early 50 AD, just in time to meet his friends Aquila and Priscilla after Claudius' Jewish expulsion. Paul's trial with Gallio, then, would likely fall in mid-51 AD, harmonizing with the historical record and what Luke records happened in Acts. So, why does any of this matter? Through pinpointing Paul's movements in a complex empire, we can see how Roman policy unintentionally propelled the gospel forward. Aquila and Priscilla, displaced by the decree, would become faithful partners in Paul's mission going forward. Gallio, indifferent to theological disputes, allows Paul to keep preaching without interference. The empire moved pieces into place, while the gospel advanced, leaving history buffs with the receipts.